Okay, I'm recording, so go ahead.
All right, now I am calling the meeting to order, and my time still says 9:08 a.m. And may I have approval of the agenda, please? Who would like to? All right, Barry's approving it. Anthony's seconding. All in favor? Yes, we've approved the agenda. Any pecuniary interest to disclose? No. Good. Approval of minutes of the previous meeting, July 30th. Moving that. How about Patty moves that? Patty, are you in agreement?
Sure, I'll move it. Yeah.
All right, Brian, will you second it? Yep. All right, all in favor, and we're good?
Yeah.
Carried, good. Now, business arising. Okay, the first thing on the agenda, as you can see, is the cleaning booking agent position update. And I am going to update you. Debbie Hill has accepted both positions. The delay in her, she's not supposed to take over until September 1st. The delay, but there is possibly a delay because she is having a lot of difficulty or a lot of red tape going through the her insurance company to be covered for the liability insurance that she requires while working. And it's just taking more time, and she hasn't even been given a dollar amount yet as to what it's going to cost. So we don't know. The other thing is she has been working on the WSIB as well with someone at the township. And that is also taking time. She said, it's complex, even, and so this is also taking time. So what I've done to just hopefully make sure that we are covered is I talked to Irene and Steve. They will continue doing what they are doing past the end of the month until until everything is ready for her to take over. So we're good with that. Brian will, like right now, Irene is paid up to the end of the month. If we can't, if Debbie is still having difficulty with all of this, then, we'll just have to, we'll wait. And as I said, Irene is willing to keep going. So it's not as though we're not covered. So we're good. And speaking of Irene, I did take their gifts over as in the 2 gift certificates because, again, for eating outdoors at Mylar and Loretta's, I didn't want to wait too long because it's nice to eat outdoors now. I didn't want to delay it, right? So they've got the gift certificate for affairs at $50. They've got $100 at Mylar and Loretta's. Barry, that leaves you with $50 up until, when we do the flowers. And again, let's not do the flowers until she's absolutely finished. So I'm thinking, so we'll do that. And then, so beyond that, that's where we're at.
Linda, if you just give me a day or two's notice, and then I'll go get them. It's not like I need to order them ahead of time. I just need to know and I'll go get them. And Patty, I am taking your advice on dealing with the other florist.
Oh, which florist? Which florist are you going to deal with?
The one in Stainer.
Oh, okay. Now, any questions on the cleaning booking agent situation? Now, the one thing with the booking agent, which is wonderful, like she's computer literate, Debbie. She's willing to take it on. The Echo is willing to help her if required. And I know that we talked a little bit about, trying to do a combination with the Village Green group, but that hasn't really come anywhere yet. So we're just going to leave it at this until, something comes along, if there's any change. So anything on this, or can we move along?
Move along.
All right, financial report, that's Brian, and I can't see my copy of it because it's only on, for some reason, my new computer and my printer don't work together right now. I'm in trouble.
I don't know, did anyone else get a copy of it that was readable?
No. No.
No, okay, and that was probably my fault because when I went to print it off today, I realized I hadn't put it onto one page. So and Kayla's away, so Kayla has it and we'll get it when she gets back. But anyway, it's not really a report in the sense of previous months. I have not received the bank statements since January. So I'm just entering in what I know for certain has gone in and gone out of the bank account, and I think it's fairly accurate. But our balance at the moment, the unofficial balance was $5,454.81. So give or take $5,400. However, I have not received anything from Enbridge. Usually I get when I pick up the mail at the post office, I'll get a monthly notice that says how much is going out of the account to pay for the gas. So I had to go back a couple of years in records to work out what that might have been. Could have been as much as $1,500 since January, although we've had a hot summer, so I don't know. And the hall's been closed, so I really can't say. But the balance could be as low as $3,900 if you take that into account. And right now, we're operating at a net loss of about $400 to $440 a month. That's our costs are ongoing, and in the sense that we are paying custodial, we're paying for water, we're paying for the bank loan, we're paying for the electricity that we are using, not much, and also I gather Enbridge, and that's off, and Rogers, and we have the Wi-Fi with Rogers, which is connected with the solar panels, so I think we need to continue that. The solar panels are generating just under $800 a month in revenue right now. So that is keeping our loss down to around 400 to 440. And given the balance that we have, if we get no further changes in our situation, we probably will run out of money by next April. So just so that everyone is aware of that. It's just, I guess, a cautionary tale that if we can generate more revenue somewhere, that would be great. Otherwise, we're fine for at least 6 to 9 months.
Thank you, Brian. You all do see the issue here. If we, and I mean, I can see us running out of money, because if we have no rent coming in at all, we could run out of money. I don't know what happens other than either the township takes it over and starts paying our bills because we're in this position. I just don't know what would happen. And if we do get into this position, it really is going to be dumped on the township, correct, Deputy Mayor Burton?
Well,
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
You're muted.
yeah, okay, so I'm unmuted. So I don't like to use the term dumped.
Dumped on. I did.
So likely what would happen if we got to that stage where we ran out of money, we would approach council to, give us some funding to continue, paying the bills to keep it operating. Technically it would be a loan, and then, we could pay it back once we start getting. But I mean, we'll have to deal with that at the time. But it wouldn't necessarily mean we're turning the building over to them. It just means we would need some financial assistance from council to, to help keep things operating until such time we can become fluent again. So. Thank
you, Deputy Mayor Burton, and I will not use the term dumping again. And now, is there anything particular on building and landscaping? Then we are into the lovely art exhibit. Oh, nothing?
I just asked, I'm just asking Anthony to confirm that the exterior lighting is working now. So
it's all good. So.
And paid for, yeah.
Building
right. So now we go on to the art exhibit. So basically, we just have to determine if we are willing to have Ann Clifford use the exterior on the Caroline Street side of the station for her mask exhibit. And I think most people were in favor of it. I mean, she wouldn't, when I talked to her, I said, there's no use of the washrooms at all. There's nothing on the inside of the station. All she would be using was the exterior. It's something that they're looking at doing in, I believe, October. I don't have an exact date, but at what I think she's looking at is around the same time as the usual, the Purple Hills Arts Show would be on. So she's looking around that time. Can anybody see any problem at all with saying yes to this for Ann Clifford?
If you could just give me a little more detail, I'm trying to understand when I read through this what exactly she wants to. Is she's not painting the wall, she's just using it to paint stuff on it?
To display.
Display. So she's bringing her own stuff.
Yeah.
She's just going to display it on the wall. How does she plan to hang this stuff on the wall? She's not drilling holes or whatever, I hope.
Not that I'm aware of.
I think we can agree to support it in kind, but we would need details on how she plans to, if she is affixing anything to the building.
I don't even know. She's probably not even affixing. She's just probably using that side of the station.
It's got an overhang. Yeah. Yeah. So it's probably everything's on tripods and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, and she would. I can't imagine, but I could clarify if you wish.
We should. I think we could pass a motion. That's and I'll be willing to put forth the motion that we approve her application to do so, but with the condition that we have an understanding of, is she affixing anything to the building?
Can I just say something?
Yes, Patty.
I like that Barry is going forward to propose the motion. Why don't we just say that we want to put the motion forward to give her permission, provided nothing is affixed to the walls of the building.
Yeah.
And then we can just go forward and let her do her thing.
Nothing that is affixed to the walls of the building that would lead any permanent damage.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
so I mean, like what if she was just using tape? She was taping something.
Then we need goof off after she's taken it off.
Oh, good.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm wondering.
Well, that's why she shouldn't affix anything to the walls.
All right, so as long as she's not affixing anything to the walls, that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
So she has to use her own tripods or whatever. Yeah.
All right, and who is going to second the motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, so moved by Barry Burton, seconded by Patty Cleary. How many in favor? Okay, passed. Next.
You're muted, Brian, by the way.
Sorry, I am. I just realized that. Peart is called, and his apologies, but he has some emergency at home that he's having to deal with, so he's not.
Oh, is this Peart?
That's Peart, yes.
Okay.
And just further to that motion, and I'm speaking as the treasurer here. Is there any chance of collecting rent?
You mean charging her?
I would say
he's using the building.
I don't think no. I think no.
Yeah, I'm saying that somewhat facetiously, but
yes.
There's a little hope there.
Well, she will be paid. She's getting money from the Purple Hills Arts Society, probably in the neighborhood of about $450. So you could say that she's asked her for $50 donation.
I think under the COVID situation, if everybody's struggling for money, I think it's a nice gesture to let her use the building and show that the building is there still. And we're still supporting community events. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we just let that one go. But thank you.
So
right.
we'll put it under the category of free advertising.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
All
That's
right,
right.
the next item on the agenda is the station washrooms. And basically, we're in the same boat we have been in all along. The washrooms are closed. They are staying closed. If you looked at the stuff that came to you on the public health guidance for use of public washrooms, I mean, as I keep telling people, on the one section, it says cleaning and disinfecting the facility. It has to be done frequently, including cleaning, removing garbage, and disinfection. And a disinfection, anything that would be commonly touched. And it says the frequency of the cleaning and disinfection is dependent on the use of the facility. Well, if you've seen the number of people in our community just on, like yesterday, for heaven's sakes, you know, I mean, we neither have the staff nor the money to have the washrooms cleaned even every 2 to 3 hours, which I think it would take. And I'd say we're closed and we stay that way.
Madam Chair, if I may speak.
Yes?
So, yeah, so a couple of things is, yeah, in order to open, we have to put a plan together, and our young lady who looks after all our events for us, she has the application. So we actually have to fill out an application that with our plan on how we're going to clean, that would go to the health unit and they would approve it. So so it would be a process. It would be a process to go through to do that. And then I received an email from Steve Sage this morning where he looked at trying to get the contractor who does the cleaning for our municipal hall and that, to see if they could look after it, and they are unable because they're short of staff as it is, so they're not in a position to offer additional cleaning at this stage to get Station on the Green open to cover the cleaning that would have to be done to the washrooms.
Thank you. So in effect, we're closed. Yes, Anthony?
I know it's the BIA that wants it open, because if you notice in town, there's already signs going up. The washrooms are for patrons only of the restaurant, and the BIA really wants the washrooms open. Can we offer it to them to deal with it? Like if they want to supply somebody to clean it, because it would really, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's not all the time and certain hours. Can we make an offer to the BIA that if they want to take it over, the washrooms at this time?
Well, they're going to have the same issue that we're going to.
Yeah, but
a plan has to be put together. I think, in response to, I like the. I think it's important we try to get those washrooms open. I think it's important, as much as it's a pain for us. But the reality is, before we can open them, or before that the BIA can open them, we need to put a plan together. We need to fill out that form and do the plan and say, well, you know, our plan would be to have it cleaned every 2 hours, or maybe we put down it gets cleaned every 4 hours. You know, we would have to put the plan together, which our young lady could help us with, and put the plan. Because she emailed me and said she'd be happy to meet with me, meet with us, work out a plan to submit to the health unit. So I think we should do that plan at any rate. We should get that plan done, and then we can figure out a cost related to that plan.
Right.
And then we can go to the BIA and say, here's what it's going to cost. Are you willing? Or we can go to the township and say, here's what it's going to cost. Are you willing to top up the money? But until that plan gets made, we're at a standstill. We can't do anything. So I would put forth the motion that we at least let's get the plan in place, get the forms filled out, and get the approval. Doesn't mean we have to open them. It just gives us the approval to open them when and if we're ready to.
Is it Amanda Murray you have to go through?
Yeah, Amanda Murray. Thank you for saying that, Amanda. And she does a great job. And she emailed me and said she would be willing to help us put the plan together and stuff like that. So.
All right. So that would mean, Brian?
I was going to say I agree with what Barry just said. We need to be ahead of it, and having a plan in place is good. And also Barry mentioned the costs involved. And I'm just in my head thinking, even if we clean the washrooms every 4 hours, say at 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and whenever we close, how much is that going to cost over the week after week? I also like Anthony's suggestion that we could open it to the BIA if they wanted to take over the cost of having that washroom open, because we'd have a plan in place for doing it that's maybe been approved. So I think what Barry's saying is good.
Who is the head of the BIA now? Is it still Lori at
Yeah.
at the art place?
It is. Yeah.
All right, all right, I will go and talk to her, and I will suggest that if the BIA is interested in having the station washrooms open, that they approach Amanda Murray.
No.
No, we would have to do it.
Get the plan. We are going to get the plan in place regardless of who's going to use it or who's going to.
All right, Barry, can you approach
Can I
Amanda?
say something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
I'm practicing with this, like I have my hand up on there.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, let me pursue with what Anthony introduced, and in conjunction with what Brian said. And the fact is, we don't have any money. We need money, and the whole idea is for BIA to bring business into town. They're having a sale on, for example, this weekend. They want the public washrooms open. We have been provided the criteria for sanitation in our email that we got regarding our washroom COVID protocol. It's outlined there. And I believe that if we were to provide it to the BIA and invite them to take responsibility for the washrooms on the weekends following that protocol, we've saved ourselves a lot of time, and that they cover the cost of the cleaning for the weekends if they want to go ahead and do it. I don't think we should have to do it. I think right now our hall is closed and we have no revenues. So it's inappropriate for us to have to cover the cost of keeping that washroom open, because it doesn't serve us any purpose. But for the BIA and for the community, if they want to do it, and to make money, and for it has already been provided to them.
Patty, if I interject, nobody is suggesting that we're paying for anything. All we're going to do is get the plan in place, which doesn't cost anything. All we got to do is get the plan in place for when we have to open it. And again, once we have the plan in place, then we can approach the BIA. I don't want the BIA making the plan. It's our washrooms. We want the plan made. We want it done. We want to do it with staff who's going to help us get the protocol right.
But we already have it. It's been provided.
But it's.
But you want to make it too political.
Patty, we still have to put it on paper.
Excuse me, one at a time.
Patty, we still have to get it on paper and get it to the health department and get it approved, and we need to do that.
But what is the description that we've been provided? If we can forward it simply to the BIA and say, this is what we're required to do and why the washroom isn't open. And if you people decide you would like to do it, then allow them to come up with a program, because it's their interest, and they have to find the volunteers to do it. They have to make the commitment to follow through with it. We can't tell them what to do and then make them do it. What they need to do is access their resources for fulfilling the obligations of COVID sanitary precaution, and that would be handed to the BIA to do, and let them make a proposal for it. Why should we do that? We don't know how many people they're going to come up with. They may decide they don't want it open then, because they can't, because there's so few of them, and they're all closing up anyway, for heaven's sakes. I've had clients that have gone into town Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The place looks like a ghost town. So if they really want it open, then they'll use their own resources to do it. But I do understand that the whole thing is about making the place look hospitable on the weekends for guests. But throw it back to the BIA. We're down on a shoestring now. We're about ready to go broke.
Anthony, I see your hand.
Yeah, I think you're misunderstanding what Barry's saying. We're going to have a plan that we can almost rent out to the BIA, rent out to whoever wants to use the washrooms. They have to follow our plan. We have, as the board, we have to put the plan in place. And then it is available to anybody who wants to use the washrooms for any function, and they can pay for it. We're not going to pay for it. It's just time, right? Filling out the forms and getting it, doing the process.
Excuse me, just out of curiosity, is this public health guideline for use of public washrooms not the plan? I mean,
It is.
Isn't this everything that we
We have to put it on paper. We have to put down how often it's going to be cleaned, what's da-da-da-da-da-da. I've talked to them about this, so we got it, and it has to be approved by the health department. So it's a simple process. It's nothing complicated.
All right, could you tell me who do we go to get the plan done? How do we do it? Because I don't know.
I will gladly sit down with Amanda and do it.
Thank you.
Amanda offered to do that. So.
All right, then we will allow that to happen. Barry, if you would do that with Amanda. And if you want me to be there, ask me. I will be glad to. But thank you very much. Organize it. And if it works out, I would be happy to. Does that satisfy everybody?
Yeah, because Amanda, it's all going to be based on the quantity of people that are probably going to use it. And Amanda would have a better handle on that than anybody. So,
Brian, I see your hand.
Okay, I'm just speaking again on this, and I agree with Barry that it's the management board. It's excuse me, it's our responsibility to be responsible for how the washroom is being used. It's our responsibility to submit that to the health department and get approval before anyone can use it. But we can certainly be as amenable to anyone wanting to use the washroom, including BIA, and cover the costs. And so I think that we can't have the tail wagging the dog. We still have to have control of our own site.
Yeah.
I understand what Patty's saying, and you know, to some point it makes good sense, but we still need to be responsible for what happens in that washroom. And therefore, I think Barry is correct that we have to follow the proper steps and be in control. But we can certainly let BIA know that we are doing this for their benefit if they're interested.
Right. Do we need a vote on this, or can we say that Barry Burton is going to work with Amanda Murray to come up with a written plan?
A written plan by the health department, by the health unit.
And then so do we need to? We don't have to vote on this, right? This is just something that's going to happen, correct?
Yeah, we will vote on the plan once the plan.
Yeah.
Once we have a plan.
And my other question is this: should I approach Lori and let her know that we are at least trying?
Yeah, you can let her know.
All right, I will do that. And the other thing regarding, again, all right, so is that station washrooms finished at this point in time?
I think so.
All right, then the next thing is the signage at the station. And you all got the pictures that Stuart Lazier passed on about wanting to change the, put up different signage at the station other than what we have, so that it blends in with what they're going to be doing at the village green. I have, Jeremy Ray said that there's two options we have. Basically he wrote this, and I think he just sent it to me. He would say to Stuart, thank you for your invitation to join with the Village Green project in implementing common and consistent signage through the adjoining areas with station on the green. After presentation to our board, the decision is, and then he puts option 1. While we appreciate your invitation, much effort and cost has gone into building the existing signs in 2019. So for that reason, we will continue with those as our standard for the time being. Option 2, we appreciate the invitation, and notwithstanding the efforts and cost of constructing and erecting signs in 2019, we would like to join with you and create a common look throughout the adjoining areas. We also look forward to discussing other synergistic opportunities as they may develop. So those are Jeremy's two options that we can say. Basically, it's a way of saying yes and no. And comments?
I like the way that he's phrased option 2, and I would like to pass a motion that we adopt the wording of it and use that as our response.
All right, comments? Please, where do people stand on signage?
I'll second Patty's motion.
All right, oh, now we've got a motion on the floor. So I guess I have to call it, do I?
Well,
Or is there, can we still discuss? Brian?
Absolutely.
yeah, I kind of appreciate option 1 because Anthony did go to some work on that. We paid for that. I also, though, appreciate option 2 because I see the benefit of common signage. I have a question mark right in my mind in terms of all of this, because when I see the plans and when I hear the discussion, it almost, I'm getting the impression, and partly because I don't really have any knowledge of the details of what's going to be happening, and that's part of my problem, I guess, but I get the impression that the whole property from Mill Street over to Library Street, the whole property, which includes the park and the grounds, the stations on, the parking lot and everything, is all part of this redesign process now, because some of the drawings I've seen have show plantings in places where there are no trees and other things going on. And so when I see, well, we can change the signage if you're okay with that. I'm just wondering, what's the full picture look like? Because we're sort of making decisions on bits and pieces as we go along without, do we realize the full extent of the plans for this area? And if there are full plans for this area, we'd appreciate knowing what they were. That's all in my mind. But I see the benefit of common signage. Certainly it would look good, and it would be nice to be part of the whole area and blend in. But so anyway, that's my comment.
Any other comments? Because there is a, I mean, I guess I'm allowed to comment, aren't I?
Anthony had a word to say.
Well, no.
Oh, good. Go for it, Anthony.
It seems to me this Village Green group, when we talked about the stage, I had mentioned maybe make the stage common to the station so it blends in. They went with something else. When I said, what about our Christmas tree ceremony? They pushed it off. It seems that they want to take control of everything. And if they want that, give it to them. What's next? The building is not the right color. Does it match with what they're doing? We're talking about blending it together, but blending it to their needs, not anybody else's. And there's my comments. I'm just kind of tired of a whole village group always asking for stuff without any compromise. They're not in just any compromise, I don't know, they have their vision and it's a tunnel vision and they're following that and that's it. That's my
I know the comment I was going to make, it's almost a 50-50 split. In other words, I would like to leave the signage as it is on the Caroline Street side of the building. And if they want to change the signage on the front of the building, change that only. So in other words, I'm kind of a 50-50 split. So that the sign you made on the Caroline Street side of the building, I know I don't talk east and west because that's not me or whatever it is. On the Caroline Street side of the building, I think it blends more into the style of an old railway station, which is what it was built to be and to take, and then go the other side where, you know, most of what they're doing is right up, you know, the front doors, and it goes right up to the front doors. So let the washroom sign change, let the one other sign change. So I'm kind of going for a 50-50 split, but that's me. Now, any more comments?
Actually, if I have a comment. I'm wondering if Patty could, or somebody repeat what that motion was that I seconded, please.
Just read Jeremy's statement number 2.
I will. Here it is. We appreciate the invitation, and notwithstanding the efforts and cost of constructing and erecting signs in 2019, we would like to join with you to create a common look throughout the adjoining areas. We also look forward to discussing other synergistic opportunities as they may develop.
Okay, what do you think, Barry?
After the initial, seconding that motion, and now I'm thinking, after the discussions I've heard, that's where I can be flexible. After third, I think we should leave our signage on Station on the Green. They want to do the washroom signs, that's fine. But as far as our Station on the Green signs that Anthony went to great efforts to do and make and all that, and we are trying to maintain the look of an old station. So leave our signage alone, except for so I don't, if that means I should withdraw my second. Sorry, Patty, but I think I'm going to withdraw my second to that, and we just do a separate motion where we send them saying you're welcome to change the washroom signs, but leave the signs on the building, the Station on the Green signs, leave them alone.
Yeah, so both of them. The ones on
withdraw the motion. I'm going to withdraw the motion after listening to what Linda said, because I don't have the sensitivity. I don't see it day to day like Linda does, and also I do not sympathize. The fact that they were just replaced, Anthony's put them in, and now they want to change that perfectly good signs. I kind of lean to what Linda said, and that let the ones that face Village Green look like the rest of the Village Green, but leave the rest of the building signs alone. I like that idea.
So leave the Caroline Street sign as is and just deal with the one at the front of the station, because there isn't, like Anthony made 2. So the one, and then there's so is that what you're now suggesting, Patty, is a motion?
Well, I'm not in favor of the 50. I'm not in favor of the 50-50. So I withdrew my motion, and then Patty withdrew her motion. Thank you for doing that, Patty. I withdrew, and then I put forth a new motion that they're welcome to change the washroom signs, but leave all the existing signage on the building alone. And that's my motion.
Is there anybody willing to second that?
I'll second that.
All right, let's see what we get here. All in favor of Mayor Barry Burton's motion? So
Yes,
1, 2, 3. That's 3 out of 5, so it's carried, correct?
See, I have a blue hand up there on the sign.
Yeah. You're still a ghost, Patty. I don't. But
all right, so
I think I saw a guest walk up your stairway behind you.
A mouthy ghost. Oh yeah, and I've got partners in crime here too. Yeah.
All right,
You're with us in spirit.
You know what I'm going to need though is I'm going to need a proper motion written. So when I get the minutes, there will be a proper motion mentioned, and then I will pass that on to Stuart Lazier. So that we're saying yes to the washroom sign, but no to anything else.
Sarah, did you get that motion okay?
So because it is recorded, I'll go back through and take a look and see exactly what happened, what was said. So it's a little bit easier these days with the recording to get the proper motion. So it'll likely be myself or probably Kayla who does that.
Who comes back on Monday, right?
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, now the last item on the agenda seems to be custodians, and we did already talk about that, correct? Is there anything else that we should be talking about regarding custodians at this point?
If I just may, if Debbie's having that much of a problem, she'd be welcome to call me, and I might be able to give her a little bit of guidance of who to contact to get some liability insurance. There's companies that do this all the time, and she could just be dealing with the wrong company trying to get it.
Well,
getting liability insurance for a commercial application is not difficult.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I will do that, Barry. Thank you. Is there
That's
anything
my
else?
phone number on her. She can call me, and I might be able to give her some guidance, at least give her some ideas of who to call. Yeah.
Can
okay.
I'll give her, yes, that cell number that you have, right? Yes, that's the one.
It's not difficult.
Anything else that we should be talking about at this meeting? Because if that is the case, then we are finished. Because I was thinking right now, oh, I know what I did want to tell you. Helen Martin, who runs the market in town, well, she approached me the other day, and she is also interested in opening a winter market at the station. Now, she is willing to do the work, as in go to the Simcoe Muskoka Health Unit, find out what all of the rules would be to open a market. She understands that the only washroom that would be able to be used in the station would be the one behind the kitchen. And as she said, the only people who could use that washroom, as far as she is concerned, are the vendors, just like she has happening at the market that's at the brewery right now, because they have a porta potty, but it's only for vendors. And what they do there is they have all of the sanitizing equipment. So as soon as one vendor uses the washroom, they have to sanitize it before they leave. So that's the way she would handle it. She'd also even be willing to bring in, like she'd be willing to do the sanitizing after it, to find out what the rules are, to follow the rules, and to do it. So I listened. And that's just, if she's going to go through that, then if she looks into it and she comes to us with a plan, then we will see what happens, if that's acceptable. When it comes to the church, they've never gotten back to me saying that they're ready or wanting to open. And the interesting thing is, even if it was the church opening, in talking to, I believe it was Amanda, I realized that even if it was only the church meeting in the station and they only meet once a week, that everything has to be sanitized, even though it's the same group and it's once a week, and you would think that anything that was there would die in the week. No, there's no such thing in the Simcoe Muskoka Health Unit write-up that says that as long as the area is left without anybody on it for so long, you don't have to worry about it. So everything would have to be sanitized after the church as well. Early on, remember, I also contacted them. They have not gotten back to me. So it doesn't look like anything is going to happen. So I just wanted to let you know and update you on that. Anything that you can think of, any comments on the idea of the market? If she wants to open it, winter market, Anthony?
I think all the more reason for Barry to get the protocols in place.
Yeah.
In this way, we are offering a full rental now. We can add the cost of the cleaning with the washroom, whether they want to take it over or not. We can still add cost to it because we've done all the process, and we should be ready for when we're allowed to rent out the place. Because all of a sudden it happens, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden the government says you can rent out now to.
Well, thank you. Again,
so I will
thank
sort
you,
through
Barry.
these protocols with Amanda. Yeah. Give me a couple of weeks, but I'll sort through this with Amanda.
All right. And as you said,
I know Helen Martin personally. She actually was my housekeeper for 3 years, helping me run the bed and breakfast. And I know her background, and she is thorough and very strict to follow protocols of all kinds. And I see this as a fabulous opportunity for us to get rent. So I would highly encourage farmers market, winter market at the station.
Yeah, I will.
I agree, Patty. Let's just get the protocols in place so we can.
And
ready.
Again, and Barry, if I can do anything to help speed up along what you're doing with Amanda, just let me know.
Okay, I will. Okay.
And is there anything else other than that? Because as far as at 9:53, we're finished unless there's anything else we need, anything you want to bring up. Now, oh, the other thing is too, if, do we want to, yeah, do we want to, if Stuart wants us to get together and talk about anything, I will say yes, just to let you know. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You have to stay communicated with them for sure.
Yeah, I've been communicating with them and I know Patty has too. So if there's nothing else, I'd say we can adjourn the meeting at 9:53. Sarah, is that okay?
I'll move to adjourn.
Are we good?
I'll second that.
Yep.
All right, meeting done.
Yay.
Thank you for coming and have a nice day.
Have a
Bye.
good day, everybody.
Thanks very
Bye.
much. Bye-bye now.
Bye.